Okay.
Yes.
Let's get into your book.
Yes. So I have been reading old and new books, mostly older books, just because I'm just trying to get into reading again, because like a lot of people, I stopped reading, and I am an avid reader. I like to think I am, but I was not this year. But one of my favorite books that I checked out of the Toronto Public Library, shout out to them, was Thick by Triesee Mcmillan Cottom. She is a fantastic scholar, writer, opinion columnist for the New York Times, frequent podcast guests, just spitting knowledge fucking everywhere. And one of the dopest Black women I know. Like, everyone's like, oh, you know, what's your goal for teaching? I just want to be like her. Whatever she does, I just want to do whatever she does. Mm-hmm. Like, she's goals for me. Just as a person who lives in the world and has knowledge, but uses it in a popular culture context and really explains stuff so that everyone can understand what's happening now. So Thick is actually a book of essays. I've been reading more books of those because that's actually a goal for me. I want to write a book of essays someday. And it's older. It's an older book. It's from a few years ago, but it's different treatises on being a Black woman in the world, but mostly America. But I think I related to it so much because, you know, it goes from everything about being a thick in, you know, in Black culture. It can mean anything from just having a big bum to actually being obese or whatever. But in African culture, diaspora culture, we see being thick as either, you know, sexually advantageous. We see it as a sign of wealth and richness because, you know, that's why we're like, oh, why am I so? Like, if you're saying it without, you were saying, oh, you're hungry, but if you're thick, you're like, oh no, you good, right? And that's why, like, the Kardashians steal our asses, quite literally. But so one of her first essays is talking about that, and it's so interesting to me because as someone who is a Black woman living in the world, even though it's in Canada and not the U.S., it really resonates with me on, like, you know, very much aspects of how I move in the world and why it might be set up for me to fail, or why, you know, I also see, like her, I see my knowledge and my scholarship as a form of protection. And she really, when there's one essay she talks about that, and I was like almost moved to tears because I was like, God damn, this is me. I may have nothing else, but I have my brain, because you see me and you think I have nothing, but I got, you know, book smarts and street smarts. I like to think I'm street smart too, you know. I'm a child of a single mom. We had to do for ourselves. You know, I can do some shit. But I think I loved that book from her because it even just standards of beauty in general, like why Eurocentric standards of beauty will never apply to us and why we can't acquiesce to that. Because physically we can't, but also like emotionally, culturally, we can never do that. It's an ending cycle of trying to achieve something that you quite impossibly cannot do. But I'm okay with that at this point in my life now, right? Like I'm 42, you know, I like my hair, which is saying a lot for someone my age. Is, you know, my FYP on TikTok is all natural hair content. Everyone's like, you can grow it longer. They're like, do I want to grow it longer? It just means a longer wash day and more money to pay for my hydro. Like, I don't want all that.
Not the hydro.
Like, hydro's expensive, bro.
That's true.
It's expensive. I got to pay for hydro on top of my rent, so it's expensive. But yeah, I love the book. I recommend anyone, especially Black women, please read this. But honestly, any women need to read this, especially like fellow women of color. You need to read this because there are certain struggles that we as Black women go through that you will never understand. And it's why, like, we're on the bottom of the totem pole in terms of dating, in terms of scholarship, in terms of even the way that she talks about one major thing also, because I've had some reproductive health issues in the last year or two. She talks about that and how we are treated differently. Just because we are seen as, oh, you can withstand this, you're fine, you're a strong Black woman, quite literally. And you're like, no, we're not. Like, if Serena Williams can almost die having a child, what chance do I have? Do you know what I'm saying? Serena's a multimillionaire, the greatest of all time athlete, and she got subjected to that shit. So even just talking about reproductive health in the context of Black women, this is stuff everyone needs to know. Because anytime I talk about it with my friends that are not Black, they're like, really? And I was like, yeah, do you have no idea of this? but it's always like the case, and it's not willful oblivion, which is more my annoyance. It's more just like general obliviousness. They think, oh no, you're good, you got it. Not always, and there's different socioeconomic conditions that are framed around us so that we have to move a certain way, and some of us break free of that, but a lot of us don't. And this book really goes through all of that, but the essays are so well written, and they're short. So she packs a lot of good shit in a smaller. The book is small. It's like maybe 250 pages. It's not long, but each essay, I took days to read the essays, and sometimes over and over again, because I was like, oh, I didn't get that point. I need to get this again, or damn, I really need to think about it. Or there was one point where I was like, I had to put it down and walk away. And it's like, shit, it really got to me. And not many books have done that for me this year. So shout out to Triesee. I love her. I follow her on Instagram. She's a really good follow on Instagram. She just drops knowledge all the fucking time, but also she goes through her fitness journey, which is super cool. As a mid-40s Black woman from the South, it's very cool to see her takes on pop culture too in real time. And then anytime she's on a podcast, just go listen to her. She's gonna be good, especially if she's on Trevor Noah's podcast. She tends to do well. She's been on there several times. She does well every time. So yeah, Triesee, man,